Okay, so back here on amazon.co.uk for another niche that I found actually just over a year ago, and I have about 3 or 4 books selling in this niche, and I think overall they've made me around $2,000, perhaps a little bit more than that, perhaps a little bit less, but as you can see on my Amazon reports here, for just one of these books has made me £341, which I guess is around $450 or something like that. And this is just for one of these books, and like I say, I have 3 or 4 of these that sell throughout the year, mainly toward Christmas, these ones, and events such like that, but they can still make you some good money if you get it right. Now, I've not nailed this niche. I did quite well with it, but I think people, if they target a bit more specifically than I did, you can actually make a lot more money than I have with this niche. And the great thing about this niche is that you can target a lot of different people and a lot of different occasions, just like we've done in previous videos. Now, this one is the Would You Rather books niche. So you might have seen these on Amazon. You may have seen other YouTubers doing these as well, but they really are very, very good, and they're so easy to make as well. You can have these outsourced if you really need to, but I would suggest that you go ahead and do these yourself because they are quite easy. Now, I did all mine myself, and it took me about a couple hours out of each day that I did them. I could get a full book of about 100 Would You Rather questions done. So if you just sit down and you really think about these questions and you just bang them out, so get your notepad out on the screen, just start typing these out, you can get a lot of these done very, very quickly. So we're specifically going to be targeting kids with these type of books because I think they sell a lot better than targeting adults here. And I think it's a really good time, especially with the pandemic where people are at home, especially in the UK. It's a really good time to make these type of books. So if we just go through the first page of amazon.co.uk and we check out the rankings of these independently published Would You Rather books, we can see that the rankings here, despite these, obviously this is the front page, so they're going to be quite good. Very, very, very low rankings here. And as you can see, people like to target very specific types of people here. So we've got Would You Rather gross editions, we've got Would You Rather for 11-year-olds. So if you think right now, you can think of so many that you can target. You can do one for Easter. That's the obvious one. Like have a bunny rabbit on the front and do Would You Rather Easter questions, which is what I'm probably going to be doing today, is getting on with that. So this niche has a lot of potential, and I think it's something that's going to get even more popular as we go through the year. So if you're going to get on this, I would get on this as soon as you can. And again, if I keep scrolling through here, you can keep seeing these book rankings, 16,664. I mean, this is making unbelievable money for these people. And again, you can see this person here is targeting each age group. So you could do that 10-year-olds, 9-year-olds, 8-year-olds, 7-year-olds, 13-year-olds. I wouldn't go any higher than perhaps 13-year-olds because I think once kids get to sort of teenage years, they're not really going to be interested too much in this. I could be wrong, but again, that's where your niche research comes into play. You could check out Would You Rather books for teenagers, and it could be selling really well. You can just go and find that out. But yes, some of these rankings are so good, and I would, if you can, get something ready for Easter. And now, making these questions in these books, so if you're not quite sure what these are, it's literally just a page. On each page you have a scenario where inside the book it says, would you rather do this or would you rather do that? Would you rather be this or would you rather be that? So if we take a look inside one of these books, I'll show you exactly what I mean. Okay, so this is inside someone's interior and it looks quite good, and all you can see here is that they have Would You Rather, and then they have the questions, about 3 on each page, and it's would you rather spend 4 hours taking a test but get to skip most of a school day, or not have to take the super test but have to go to school all day? Would you rather be popular with fake friends or be losers with true friends? Now, the way that this is written looks like it's been outsourced. You can do the same, but I would recommend that you just go ahead and think up these on your own. So I think as this niche becomes more and more popular, I think what people are doing to try and stand out now is just put more questions into the book. However, I'd go ahead and try and get between 100 and 200, but make it more niche specific than these sort of generic ones that just have lots of questions. So you can go ahead, just target Easter, you can target age groups, you can target gender, can target gender and age groups, make it really, really specific. So if you're feeling short for ideas, you're not feeling too creative, what you can do is just come across to Google and get some inspiration. And by inspiration, I mean inspiration and not just copying what you find on Google. You do have to be very careful about this, because Amazon will they will red flag you if they find that your content in your book is freely available to people on the internet. So you have to make sure that you reword anything that you do take inspiration from. So let's come across to Google now and just type in would you rather questions and search for some of these. Okay, so what you can do is just come across to any website. There's going to be hundreds and hundreds of these websites that have would you rather questions on them. And what you can do is just find some here and take a look at them. Would you rather have a child made of pea or a pea made of a child? Don't know what that means, but you could take that as inspiration to make your question from. So you could just reword that into your own, and you could change, would you rather have a child made of pea? And you can change that to something like, would you rather have a cup of tea made of pea, or whatever, you know what I'm saying here. And you can just rework other people's questions, obviously making them completely unique, make them your own. And honestly, you can get 100 of these done in a day if you just go for it. And if you want to do a bigger book, then you could take a week out of your time, if you've got the time to do this, and create a really big would you rather book. But what I'd recommend doing, especially with Easter coming up, is to really niche down, put 100 to 200 questions in, and just see how that goes. But I would definitely make more than one book here. So I needed to make around 3 or 4 to actually make decent money with these type of books. Okay, so usually I'd recommend that you go ahead and outsource pretty much everything that you do interior wise, but these ones are just so simple that I really think you should just go across to canva.com, get a free account if you haven't got one already, or use your paid one if you have that, and just make these yourself. So on the start of each page you'd have would you rather at the top. And I've gone for a 6 by 9 inch book here. I think that's quite a nice size, because I think people will want to take these with them places that they go, like on car trips and holidays and stuff like that. So 6 by 9 is always a good size for gift books. And then you just put would you rather at the top of each page that you make. And then inside you're going to put the scenarios that you've made yourself or rewritten from the internet. Okay, so my favorite text to pretty much use on everything is the Oswald text here, the Oswald font in Canva. And what I'm going to do is just take some inspiration from this website here, and I can find some really simple ones that I think are going to be suitable for kids. So would you rather receive $5 million now or wait 10 years for $45 million? So inside our book we could have, would you rather receive $10 million now or wait 20 years for $90 million? So something like that. You can just type that in here. Okay, so there's our first would you rather question. It looks a little bit boring. I think with these you want to have something a little bit interesting on the page, like a picture. And what I'm going to do here for a lot of mine is just to use the speech bubble element here in Canva. So you can pick one of these and put this underneath the text as I'm about to show you. Okay, so something like this, we've just put the question inside one of these speech bubbles that we found on Canva here. Now, I don't really like this font at the moment. I like it for the title, but I don't like it in the speech bubble here. So I think I'd go ahead and experiment with the fonts until I find something that I like that looks quite cool. So just play around, and once you've found a way to make it look nice on one page, you can just duplicate that on every other page from there on. So what I like to do in my would you rather books, and what I will be doing in future, is to make sure that I put some engaging pictures inside the books when it's relevant to a question. So if I have a question about a superhero inside my book, then I want to make sure that I don't just have text on a page. I want to have like a picture of the superhero in there as well. So we can again just use Canva to find something here. And then we go ahead and just make this look a little bit nicer. Now it's going to be up to you if you want to do this book in color. All mine are in black and white, so they look a little bit boring, and I guess that doesn't really help my case in terms of not having as good a sales as I could have had with this. But bear in mind, if you do put this in color, you want to make sure that a lot of your images are in color, because even if you have one picture in color or 1,000, you're still going to be paying to have a color interior for your book. So make the most of it if you do decide to have color pages. Okay, But again, I've only just done this very, very quickly. Once you get one page done nicely, it looks really good to you, then you can do this on every single page. And you can just click here to duplicate the page here, so you won't have to keep changing the would you rather text here. And then you can go ahead and just keep changing the would you rather questions. Now I've just made a mistake here and I've put would you rather again here, so you don't need to put that twice because it's going to be on the top of your screen. So you would just delete it and have in here, obviously I've not written the question out properly, but you get the idea. Okay, so again, since I have a lot of time myself, I would do these all myself, 100 to 200 of them, and just try and grind them out. But if you don't have much time, then obviously you can use upwork.com and say to someone, I'm looking to have some would you rather questions made for kids. I want you to take them off the internet, rewrite them to make them unique, and put them into the template that I provide, and you can send them something from Canva that they can write into. Okay, so with these type of books, I think you need to be quite careful what content you have inside, because one of my books actually got flagged for having something twinkle twinkle little star related, and apparently that was information that could be found freely on the internet, which seems a bit bizarre. But I think you need to be careful and don't use copyrighted terms, phrases, songs, so no Disney, Fortnite, things like that. Just put generic questions in that are suitable for the audience that you're targeting, and just be careful that you're not putting in anything in there that Amazon can pick up and penalize you for. Okay, so once you've done all your pages in Canva, you can come across to the download button here, come to file type, do PDF print, and then you want to make sure that all your pages are ticked. So that will go, when you click done, you can go to download, and that'll download the PDF print file with all of your would you rather questions on. And of course you need to make your front cover as well. Now for the would you rather books, I think if you're going to do 4 or 5 of these, I would actually hire someone to do these, because if you look on the covers on Amazon here, like for me, I can't make this type of book cover in Canva. Like this is too good for me to make in Canva. A lot of low content books, you can make really simple covers, but I think for kids ones, they need to look pretty good. And for me, I would outsource these in Canva and get them done for, outsource to Fiverr.com and get them done for $5 to $10. Okay, so that is the would you rather books niche targeted toward kids. Again, you can target different age groups, different events, different occasions, different genders. You can do everything with this, and it's selling very, very well, especially on the UK stores, the UK store at the moment. Now, I do have a bonus niche here that I found, and it's a bit of fun, but this is something that you can actually make some money with, because I don't think many people are doing this at the moment. This very specific type of niche, and it's quite novelty. It's going to make a good gift, and that niche is things to do while on the toilet. Okay, so let's take a look at some of the independently published books here on Amazon.co.uk. If you're interested in this niche, you can check it out on .com as well. But for me, I can see some very low quality covers with no reviews on them whatsoever are actually selling already, and these type of books are inside. You're going to find things just like activities that you can do while you're on the toilet. So it's going to be things like Sudoku, so basically anything you'd find inside an activity book, so mazes and things like that, and even things like here we go, so you can have one with funny facts in it, Sudoku, and all types of activities like this. So this book is independently published, it's selling very well. This one here is independently published, it's selling very well with only 3 stars on it. And again, this one just has unusual facts, so this kind of relates back to our would you rather book, but this one is just something, it's targeted toward people that want something to do whilst they sit on the toilet and they don't want to take their phones with them. So 250 unusual facts, that's a really good one that they can read whilst they're on the toilet doing whatever. So again, you can target this niche with whatever activities you want inside, something that people can take a pen or a pencil and draw in, whatever. But facts again is a very easy one, because you can just Google them and rewrite them into your own words and create a very, very simple book, just like these people have done here. And if you look inside, we can see that this is a very simple interior. You can make this in Canva, and very easy to make, simple facts. They probably just searched the internet for these and they've made a book and it's selling. Okay, that's it. If you think that these are good niches, please go ahead and subscribe, like the video, and there'll be plenty more to come soon.